Good evening, guys. Do you hear me? Please confirm. Okay, great. So I'm going ahead and sharing the screen. Okay, so just give me a minute, guys. Give me 2 minutes, okay? Fine. So I'm ready to go now. So by the way, please let me know how many of you are new joiners today. This could be your first session. Please raise your hands. Only one. Okay. So I see roughly around. Okay, it seems to be 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'll consider as around 10 people. Okay, fine. That's a fine. So those are new joined today. So since others already know about me. So my name is Vikram Kumar, guys. I am the trainer for the DevOps here. And I carry more than 8 years experience in IT and exclusively 6 plus
evening, guys.
in DevOps and AWS.
This is Vikram,
That's my experience.
trainer for
And
the
considering and
Do you
the
hear me?
next point to understand is we started the class yesterday. Our demo happened on
Please
Thursday.
confirm, guys.
And
Do you hear
yesterday
me?
we started the first class. And we discussed about understanding of SDLC. Now, one suggestion for you is, right? So when you log in into the class, please make sure that you provide your first name and your information correctly, like your mobile number and email ID correctly. So the reason is Naresh IT will drop, or Naresh IT team will try to contact you. That is one thing. And second thing is you guys will get the video recordings, guys. So video recordings of the classes till the demos are completed. So that's free till the demos are completed. So thereafter it based on subscription. Got it now? So till the demos are finished. So when they say that, okay, the batch is confirmed. So till that point, you'll get video links to your email ID only. So that is the reason. Please make sure that you fill the information correctly and join the class. And the guys who are new today, and if we have missed anything, let's say yesterday or day for yesterday, nothing to be worried because you'll get your video recordings for missed classes, and I recommend you to go through them. Got it? Please go through them. It is easy only, not a tough stuff. So it is super easy to understand because those are all basic ones. Now, going forward from yesterday's class, so we'll every day start with understanding of last session summary. So last session number was 2, and we targeting to finish off the classes in 60. So demo was 1, and yesterday class was 2. So 2 by 60, and today we are third class. Now, tell me guys, in short, what we discussed yesterday. Please look into your books and tell me what we discussed yesterday. Quick, those who have attended classes yesterday, guys. Right. So we understood the SDLC, right? And we were trying to understand how it evolved. So that means how the concept of evolution of SDLC happened. And we came to know that, okay, working group was primarily responsible for auditing a lot of things. and thereafter they came about waterfall model, right? So that became our first SDLC. And also we understood about the definitions, simple definition we saw yesterday. And also we saw about the primary steps that happen in SDLC. Got it now? So keeping that in mind, we'll proceed further now. And for everybody guys, if you have any doubts, so we'll take all the questions at the end. So I recommend you to patiently listen to the class. And if you have any doubts, make a note of them in your running notes and ask me at the end, because if you listen to the session completely, so one benefit is some of the doubts gets cleared. And if anything is left out, we can talk at the end, both from voice and chat. Okay. So keep focus. So let's move on. Now, yesterday I told you that in simple words, that working group started auditing a lot of models right from 1968 onwards, and they came across a model called waterfall. Now, just give me a minute, guys. My headset, I feel it's not connected properly. Give me a minute. Can you hear me better? Please confirm. Do you guys hear me better now? Yep. No. Okay. Fine. That's okay. Now, working group, which was formed in 1968, they audited a lot of models and they came across a model called waterfall, and which was invented by Winston for the purpose of automobile industry. So we already know that this model is universal model, classified as universal. The only reason is this model can be applied in every field of science. In every field of science, you can try this model. And interestingly, this model was somewhat suitable for IT as well. So what we done is we modeled this. We modeled this into the IT industry with the same name in 1972. So 72 and 71. So this is a time period when we started introducing the concept of SDLC. The first SDLC was waterfall. And in this SDLC concept derivation, so they said that we need to have something called plan, and we need to have something called code, thereafter design, right? Then code, then test, then maintenance, then maintenance. Okay, so they thought that these are the minimum steps that you follow in every project case. Even you pick the project of 1980s era, you pick the project of 1990s era, and the current era of DevOps also, you'll find this same steps being followed. However, they are making some better improvements. So that is what is happening over the years. Now here we have to understand what happens in the plan. Those are new to the IT, so they need to know what happens in plan, what happens in design, what happens in coding, what happens in testing, and what happens in maintenance. So that is what we have to understand then, so that we can apply the logic of different models. Now, you tell me, guys, what happens in a plan? Any idea? In a software company, what they do in the plan? So basically in the plan, they start with something called two activities, two major activities you'll have. Two activities are there. So the first one is strategic analysis. And the second activity is capacity analysis. These are two important things, guys. These are two important things. The reason is in the strategic analysis, right, the first activity. So here The basic agenda here is to decide whether the project should be taken or not. So one example, so let's say that a client approached you. Imagine you as a company here, you represent the company, and client has approached you. Do you think whatever he asks, you can do it? Think, guys, think from business point of view. So think that you are representing a company now, and some project has come to you, and they are talking about something, and do you think everything is possible by us? Example, a company may be good in web apps, but the client is asking Android. So company may be good in Android, right? The client is asking some other thing like the cloud. So this is what called strategic analysis, guys. In strategic analysis, we understand the client requirement and we take the decision whether to go with the project or not. Because unknowingly, if you accept the project without the strategic analysis, blindly, if you accept the project and if you are not able to complete the things in time, you think about the repercussions there. You think about the damage that happens to company. Do you agree with this? Everybody here. So think like a company owner, guys, because generally strategic analysis is done by top management. Here, no developer, no test engineer, no DevOps, nothing. You got it now what I'm talking? So strategic analysis purely the management stuff. So top management thinks when client approaches and they gave their requirements, what they are looking for, then they'll have a discussion whether they can handle it or not. If they are handling it, then the project goes positive. If they say that, okay, we can't, then no, that's it. You got it now? So this is something like taking in or out. That's it. Are we ready to do? Yes or no? That's a simple thing. It's like looks like a toss only. So if they say yes, company starts doing a lot of activities. If they say no, then client has to look for some other company. That's it. So that is what happens in strategic analysis. So it's all round understanding of entire project, but determining whether we can do it or not. So one dangerous thing here involved is any wrong decision taken here, definitely the company will has to take a hit in the market. Do you agree, guys, with this statement? Will have a bad repercussion for sure. Now I'll tell you one life example. Maybe some of you are aware or not. One life example, best one, which happened recently. Everybody knows Tata Nano. Tata Nano, no? You guys know the world's cheapest car from Tata. I want to tell you one example from this because this is one of the recent examples where their strategic analysis was done wrong. So when they were determining where to establish their company, okay, they went ahead with the West Bengal. So I'm not blaming West Bengal or some other government guys, but you should know the facts here. The point is in the strategic analysis, what happened is some of them favored Hyderabad, Bangalore, and some of them favored Gujarat. So a lot of states, and some of them also favored West Bengal also. The point is in the strategic analysis, the most of their analysis say that not to go with West Bengal. But something went wrong there with the government and Tata Nano. And overall, they had to move their project from that state to the another state. So this is the reason was analysis was done wrong. Got it now? What I'm talking? So as a company, when you make wrong analysis and you just move with the project, a lot of complications will be there. So always for any IT company, if you are getting any project, you need to make sure that you're doing it right. Now, once the project analysis has been done, if it is positive, if they say, yes, we are going to go to the project, then that is where the things will start called capacity analysis. So this is where hirings will start. You got it now? This is where hirings will start. So in the capacity analysis, what happens is company will try to understand what they have, okay, or let's say what I have and what I have to acquire. Something like what I have currently in my bin and what I need to get. For example, to do the project, currently I have 10 servers. I may need to add 2 more servers. For example, I have, let's say, 50 developers in my company. To do this project, maybe I need to hire 7 more developers. Maybe I have, let's say, 5 DevOps engineers now. I may need 3 more DevOps engineers. Maybe I have 10 admins. I need to add 2 more. Right? You're getting the point, guys, what I'm talking? So this is called capacity analysis. So in the capacity analysis, all about getting project live. Now, one point to be noted from the project management side is in the strategic analysis, when the decision is positive, okay, the things will not happen overnight. It almost takes 3 weeks to 6 weeks of time to negotiate and come onto the table for legal agreements, guys. So this is what you need to know, because I also teach project management, guys. So that's the reason I'm trying to help you with the DevOps and also that side knowledge. So overall, like 3 to 6 weeks of time is an average time where once the negotiation starts, they come onto the table and make agreements. After making agreements only, they start capacity analysis. Without making agreements, they will never do. Generally, we call this as MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding. Okay. So in this, they will talk about when they should complete the project, what technologies they need to use, what kind of SDLCs they will follow. Okay. Who is responsible here? What responsibility they are taking? What responsible for a client? What responsible for a company side? What are penalties also? So this is interesting. Penalties also they'll talk. So if the things are not happening in a right direction in a right time, what is a penalty? Okay. So these are all things part of the MOU. So after MOU is done, then only the capacity analysis starts. Clear? So in the capacity analysis, more something like the finance team and your HR team will involve a lot. Finance team and HR team. And also the next most important team that gets involved in capacity analysis is your architecture team. Architecture team, guys. You will have some architects, existing architects. They involve here in giving a rough estimate of how many people are required or trying to analyze what we have to do. So architectural team also gets involved in the capacity analysis. So that's about the plan stuff, guys. The next, moving on to the design. Okay. So moving on to the design. So what happens in the design, guys? Any idea on the design part? Tell me. What happens in the design part? So in the design part, the major contribution will always come from architectural team only. So they take responsibility of understanding entire scope of the project. Like they'll try to understand the objective, what needs to be done. So they are going to make something called blueprint of the project. Generally, we refer this as blueprint of the project, right? So in the blueprint of the project, that is where they start segregating the things. Okay, this activity DB team will do. Okay, this activity, let's say front end UI development team will do. This activity core development team will do. This activity QA engineers will do. This activity something like DevOps will do. This activity so and so needs to be done by admins, cloud engineers. So all this comes from your design part only. Got it? So that's where the blueprint of the project is getting done. And the next most important stuff is code. Coding. So what happens in the coding, guys? What happens in the coding? Everybody knows, I guess. This is super common, nothing complex. So when it comes to the coding part, it's all about developing the code for the project, or if I talk very directly, we develop the code for the applications or your software. That's it. Now the question comes is, I hope you should know this point. So in a real time, if you talk about a real time stuff, we have a lot of people like juniors, right? We have senior associates, junior associates, senior associates, right? Then we have the principal engineers. Okay. Then we have something called architects, correct? So can you tell me who writes the majority part of the code in any project? This is super interesting point, guys. You should know this. So code is written, that we agree, right? Code is written for sure. But my question is, who writes the majority part of the code of the project? Do you think is it a junior engineers, or is it senior engineers, or is it principal engineers, or is it architect? So basically, frankly, you just ask or you take it review, you just check with almost like along your friend circle, they will tell you that, that most of the code is written by senior engineers only in a project. Senior associates will write the majority part of the code. Almost, I would say 60 to 70% of your code is written by seniors only. And principal engineers and architects only get involved when it is a complex part. Correct? And basically, juniors are will involved in debugging. Primarily, debugging tasks are assigned to the juniors only. Correct? So seniors will write the code. Juniors will generally work on debugging stuff, and principal engineers complex stuff. They'll review the complex things when there is getting, very high end kind of things. Principal engineers and architects will jump in. So that is what happens. Good. Now going to the next level is test. So what happens in the test case? What we do in the testing? What we do in the testing, guys? Now, first of all, is testing is required? Yeah, for sure, it is required. Correct. Now, what we do in the testing? So the basic agenda of testing is to identify a bug. Am I correct, guys? That's the ultimate objective of testing, to identify a bug. Or if I talk in a simple English, so we go ahead and check whether the application is working as per the expectation or not. That's it, expectation. If it is not working as per the expectation, then we call it as a bug. You identified something which is going crazy, that we call it as expect bug. That's it. Something is going beyond the scope. You see that some error is coming, or let's say application supposed to be in blue color background and you see the white color, but still the application is working. See, that is what we call it as bug. My expectation was yellow, but it is coming in blue color. So then that is called as a bug. Got it? Okay. I was asking to, let's say I have asked the guys to write the program for A plus B, but they have written for the program for A minus B. That's also a bug. Got it? So basically test involves identifying a bug, or if I talk another way, it's all about identifying the functionality. These are all higher end words in testing field. So they go ahead and check functionality of the code or the application. The next is maintenance, guys. The next is maintenance. Now, what we do in the maintenance? What we do in the maintenance, guys? Any idea what we do in the maintenance? What is the maintenance, first of all? So, see, guys, the maintenance story starts after delivering to the client. That's the first criteria. So once you give your product, here our product is our application or a software, correct? So after you deliver this to the client, then the story of maintenance will start. So we become responsible there. Getting the point? So we take up the responsibility, I would say, to go ahead and fix the issues of usage. Do you agree? So if the client is using your application and after it is being delivered, and if he comes back and says that, okay, it's not working, it's not tracking my data, then it's your responsibility to go and fix it. So maintenance is all about the post deployment of your product or application to your client, and we take up responsibility of its end to end maintenance. Okay, so we need to make sure that the functionalities of the application are working as per the expectation after delivery to the client also. So that is comes under maintenance activities involve a lot of things, guys. And this is a one drastic area where the meaning of maintenance was different in the waterfall. The meaning of maintenance underwent little change in the agile. The meaning of maintenance little underwent in DevOps also. So the expectations are different, guys. The expectation of maintenance under waterfall was different. The expectation of the maintenance in agile seems to be different. Again, the expectation of maintenance in the DevOps is different. So that we'll study when we are seeing the models. But in simple word, maintenance is all about taking care of your applications or the software. If clients reports an issue or you identify the issue from your side or from client side, we take up responsibility, go ahead and fixing them. So that's part of your maintenance. Okay. Now, one interesting point is that the people who handle the plan and the people who handle the design and the people who handle the code and the people who work under the test, they have been classified as developers or development. This comes under development. So basically this is referred as developers. So they are classified as developers, guys. Got it? And the people who are handling the activity. See, this classification is based on activity. I repeat, this classification is based on activity. What activity you are doing. So plan, design, code, and test. So you are classified as working under development team, or in simple, they are classified as developers. Now the people who are managing the activities of what are involved in maintenance, okay, and anything thereafter, etc., I would put it. So these people are classified as operations team. So the conclusion of this story is, in any IT project, you got it? So you will see that two teams are working. Two teams will be there. You got it now what I'm talking, guys? In any IT project, you take it any software application company or any company who is producing the applications. So in their project, you will find basically two kind of classifications based on activity. So two teams concept. So that is, first one is your development team, right? Second one is your operations team. Now, crazily, what happened is we have some nicknames also. Some nicknames are also there. So development team, generally they referred as, I told you now, some people call them as developers, right? In people in short, they call this as dev also. Dev, that's it. Dev team, right? And operations, in simple, they call it as ops team. So dev team, ops team. You got it now? Clear? So overall, so what happened is, in any IT project, we'll have two primary teams working. So one is your development team and other one is operations team. So now see the interesting point. So right from 1972, right? This is what you need to catch. Very important point. Right from 1972, where SDLC concept was started, they followed the concept of two teams classification. Two teams will be there in IT project. So this is what followed by waterfall. This is what followed by agile. But when it came to the DevOps, they questioned this strategy. So DevOps does not encourage two teams concept at all. DevOps model does not believe in two team concept. This is interesting. They don't believe in it. So they believe in a concept called one team. This is a big game changer which happened after 50 years of evolution of DevOps case, or I would say SDLC. So 1970s roughly was evolution of SDLC. From past till DevOps came into the market, our guys were following two teams concept. You got it now? So once the DevOps came into the market by Patrick, and he questioned why we should have this two teams concept, because two teams concept interestingly did not create any trouble in the waterfall at all. No trouble. Everything was smooth. Okay. But when it came to the agile, the same two teams concept did not work out. This is the reason. So waterfall model, they followed same strategy of two teams, no trouble at all. Everything was happy. Thereafter, some models came, they were also happy. But when coming to the agile, this two teams concept did not work out. It created some kind of conflicts. Definitely, it created some kind of conflicts. So to overcome these conflicts, Patrick has suggested that the traditional method of two teams concept should be avoided and new approach of one team concept should be applied. And he tested this one team concept literally in the trials, also in a lot of IT projects, and it seemed to be worked better than two teams concept. That is the reason in DevOps we have only one team. So that's the reason they call this as Dev. See, the names are coming: Dev and Ops. DevOps, development and operations team working together. They work together as a single unit rather than division. You understood now what I'm talking, guys? So we'll see this kind of understandings in depth in going in further classes. But at this point, this is what you need to grasp: differences, right? So two teams classification was created way back in 1970s only. So that was good at that point. But when it came to the DevOps, it changed. So today we follow one team concept. Clear? Good. So this is what basically happens in each phase case. Now let's go ahead and understand the waterfall now. So I hope you got the logic of what happens in each phase. Now let's go ahead and understand for our first SDLC waterfall. Waterfall. So who gave the waterfall model? Who is the inventor, guys? Winston. So Winston was a person who invented this model. Okay. And waterfall is not native to the IT industry. So please keep in mind, we are not the innovators here. We did not invent this model at all. Okay. This model was already in use in the automobile industry. So our guys have copied that model, or you can say we have took that as a base. You got it now? If I tell in other way, for example, everybody knows Ambedkar. Everybody knows Ambedkar, guys. I hope everybody knows, right? So he is known for one thing: his constitution, correct? Do you agree? He prepared the Constitution of India, right? Our law system. How come he prepared? How come one person done all these things or group of people done this? The reason is he referred to the lot of country. He studied lot of countries' constitutions, guys. So he studied USA constitution. He studied Russian constitution. He studied Irish constitution. He studied South African constitution, Japanese. So different constitutions he studied and finally took the best out of them and drafted our constitution. The same logic applies. So our group went into the Winston's theory of waterfall. They picked up the best out of it and applied in IT. So that means our model is something we can say that it is an adopted. So that's the reason we should not say it is discovered. It is adopted in 1972. Clear? So we adopted this waterfall model into IT in 1972. Now this model believed in a process called as phased strategy. Keep in mind, every model that comes into the market, they believe in some theory, or you can say they believe in some philosophy, you can say, or they believe in some kind of strategy or method. So waterfall was believing in something called phased strategy. Example, agile believes in, tell me guys, what does agile believe in? Any idea? So I just told you the waterfall now. Any idea on how the agile believes in? The people who are working in agile process, please give me the answer. Agile believes in, what is the method of an agile? Research guys. I want you guys to use your internet now. Quickly search and tell me. What does agile believe in? Iteration process. So agile believes in iteration process. Okay. DevOps believes in? Think. Go on internet and search. I'll give 1 minute of time. Go and search and tell me guys. Is it automation or is it artificial intelligence, or what exactly is the word? So DevOps believes in continuous integration, CI, continuous integration strategy. See the difference. So waterfall believes in phased strategy. Agile believes in iteration strategy. DevOps believes in continuous integration strategy. And maybe tomorrow, maybe some XYZ model may come. They may believe in something ABC. That is what is going on. Got it? So now let's see what is a phased strategy here. So this model, which was given by Winston, they came up with a something called, these are the phases, or you can say these are the steps they told you. The same, the primary one, the base one. So they said plan, they said same design, they said code, they said test, and they said maintenance. You got it? They said maintenance. So in simple words, this method of waterfall given you the 5 steps that you need to follow in your software production. And keep in mind, the waterfall main focus area was on quality only. That means standards. You want to maintain the standards in production. You want to maintain the standards in producing your application. When it comes to the agile, their primary focus was on performance. Now, it does not mean that they left out quality or ignored the quality. That is not right. So whatever you're trying to do earlier, like quality standards and everything that are being done, added to that, we are trying to focus on performance. Now, when it comes to the DevOps, they also follow the standards in place. They also follow the performance in place. They now believe in something called automation. Am I clear on these points now? Focus areas are differing. So steps are giving, new processes coming, focus area is changing. Getting? Because these changes are required from time to time. Just a small example. See the dressing style, guys. So 1920s dressing style is different from 1960s. 1960s is different from 80s, 80s to 2000. Now we are in 2020, correct? So there is a lot of change in the fashion, right? So exactly the same logic. You apply, see, in the waterfall, we followed something. In Agile, we are following something else. In DevOps, we are following something else. So when the time passes, there are some challenges with the demand. There are some challenges with technology, and there are some challenges with competition. So to overcome all these things, we are trying to enhance the models that are in place. That is what the ultimate objective. We are trying to enhance the project, or we are trying to enhance the progress, or we are trying to enhance the procedures that we are trying to use in our application development. Clear? Good. Now, let's move on here. Now let's understand what is a phased strategy here. What do you mean by phased strategy? So here what happens is, let's say a client came to you. Imagine a client came to you and you said everything is fine. So we are ready to do the project. That means we have said yes. So if you are following the phased strategy, so what happens is they will complete the plan, then they will complete the design, then they will move on to the code, then they move on to the test, then they move on to the maintenance. Simple. So this is trying to tell you that, okay. So this is trying to tell you that at any point of time, we only do one step. I repeat, this is super important point here. So phased strategy tells you that at any point of time, we only handle one step. So after plan is done, then only we move to the design. After design is done, then only we move to the code. After code is done, then only we move to the test. After test is done, we go on to the maintenance. That means at any point of time, we are not handling the two activities. No, we are not trying to do two activities, only one activity. So that's the reason it is called phased. So this model also has a nickname, guys. Nickname is step by step model, because we are trying to do everything step by step. Step by step. This model is also called a step by step model because we do everything by step by step. If we are doing everything by one after the other, will it come under a serial approach or will it come under a parallel approach, guys? What approach you are trying to follow here? Can you tell me? Can you guess? So if you are doing everything one after the other, is it a serial approach or a parallel approach? It is a serial approach. You got it now? Serial approach. So that's the reason by 1985, they said serial approach is not working. That is the reason the models which evolved after 1985, they started concept called parallel development. Parallel development. Even parallel development approach is followed in the agile, and even parallel development approach is followed in DevOps. Now, when you're doing everything step after the one step after the other step, do you think the project will close in short time or will it take long time? Tell me, guys. Definitely it will take long time. See, this is very interesting point. If you are doing every step after one after the other, it will definitely take long time. So that's one of the biggest criticism of waterfall. One of the negative points of waterfall is waterfall takes long time to complete your project. Right? That's one of the drawbacks. So it takes, that's the reason the waterfall used to take minimum of 3 to 5 years to complete a project in those days. I'm not talking about current situation. I'm talking about the 1970s and 80s era. So when somebody banks the IT project, let's say they are starting on this waterfall strategy, it takes minimum 3 to 5 years of time. 3 to 5 years of time, guys. Got it now? So this is one of the drawback. Now down the line, what happened, see, interestingly, Agile was able to bring down this average time to 6 months to 1 year. This is an average time. The most of the Agile projects, they trade around 6 months to 1 year. Now further improvement done in DevOps, you see. Okay. In DevOps, you are able to complete the project in 2 to 3 months now. Drastic changes over the years, see, guys. See the logic. Way back in waterfall, the projects used to take 3 to 5 years. Agile around 6 months to 1 year. At DevOps 2 months to 3 months. I hope you got this logic. Now, second most, the very concern in the waterfall was, biggest concern is, so let's take it as an example. So plan is done, design is done, they moved on to the code. After the coding is done, in the test, they identified a bug. Okay. Now, once you identify a bug or something which is not working, if you were in that place, what you will do, guys? Tell me. So if you were in that situation, let's say, like let's say you are a project manager. Tell me, guys, what you will do. Will you send the code back to the development team and ask them to correct it? Right? See, I'm giving the options so that you should catch the answers. Option number A. Will you ask the developer to rewrite the code or rectify the code or correct it, something? Or will you ask the test engineer to fix the code? What is right answer? See, one more option I'm bringing. Or will you restart this stuff entire again? So this is a very, very interesting point, guys. So which is not given in the books actually. Until unless you work in IT industry, you'll never know this. Books will talk something different, but practically in field it is different. Okay. So if you're following the principles of waterfall, if you're following the principles of waterfall or waterfall strategy, you're not supposed to ask a developer to rewrite the code. You're not supposed to send it back. You're not supposed to send it back, guys. No, this way of going back and correcting things will not work here, because that is not the strategy they'll follow. If once a bug has been identified, they replan, they redesign, they recode, they retest. This is what they'll do. You got the logic now, guys? Dinesh, Deepak, Saeed, Manikanta, Sanjay, Pratibha. They are not going to talk directly, okay, sending back and fix it, because they have to follow the process here. That means they have to restart the activities, everything. So they will go back, replan, redesign, recode, retest. So if you're trying to do a lot of reactivities here, just think about a small example, guys. If you're trying to do too much of redo activities here, is it going to work if it is a bigger project? Do you think the doing the redo kind of activities, is it good for a big projects? Absolutely no. So that is a reason that there is a criticism on the waterfall model that this model is not suitable for big projects at all. So waterfall is not suitable for big projects, guys. The same, if it is a small project, think reverse, other side of the coin. If it is a small project, redoing activities is possible. First of all, it's possible here. You got it? So that is a point to be noted. Clear? So very, very critical point. Criticism is that redoing activities is a strategy here. So the same redo kind of activities may not work if the project is bigger. So this is one of the drawback and criticism. But the same redoing kind of activities, if the project is small, we can manage it. Okay. And the people who are handling the activities, the same logic follows here. The people who are handling the activities from here to here, they are classified as developers. And the people who are handling the activities post maintenance, they are called as operations, ops team. So that means in waterfall, you had two teams concept. Got it? Good. Now I want to talk very special use cases now, which I want you guys to make a note of the points. I'm redrawing once again. plan, let's say design. So let's say code. When you're studying the subject, we'll also try to do comparative study, guys, so that you'll know what is happening. Maintenance. Okay. So in a waterfall era, what is the predominant language they use to develop the applications? Any guess? C, COBOL, Fortran. Older languages which evolved in 1970s. Those are predominant. If it is a agile, what is a predominant choice? It's C++, .NET, right? Java. So these are the predominant choices in the agile era. If it is a DevOps, what are the choices now? It's a Java and Python and still C hash. I hope you are getting the logic now, how the things are changing. See, the same coding standards are not followed. You can see over the time period, different time periods, different SDLC process are in place. So different languages are also in demand. And one more point to be noted from the testing side is, in a waterfall era, that means according to the waterfall, a test engineer is supposed to identify the bug only. Identify a bug. His job is not to fix the bug. I repeat, once again, you need to catch this point. So in the waterfall era, the role of a test engineer is to identify a bug. So once the bug is identified, right, he is supposed to inform to his team leads, and from there, we kind of activities used to happen. So don't think that in a waterfall era model, so test engineer is not going to work on fixing the bug. Fixing the bug concept came in the agile era. So the role of test engineer changed here. So the criteria became now different. Identify the bug, fix the bug. See the things. Identifying and also fixing the bugs became the job role of test engineers here. See the changes. And interestingly here, the fixing the bugs is on smaller scale only, not major. So if the bug is small, they'll fix it. If it is a major bug, then the development team has to fix. That's the only option. Got it now? So keep in mind that Agile was the model which introduced the concept of asking the testing team to work on the bug fixes. How many of your test engineers here? How many of your test engineers, please raise your hands. So am I talking correct? Or you guys are not working on bugs? Tell me guys. You're working, right? Yeah, correct. So Agile has introduced the principle of identifying the bug and also fixing the bugs. But again, there is a subclass here. The condition is the bug should be a smaller one. If it is a code related stuff as a major bug, then the development team will work on it. Clear? So that is what happens here. Now, one more change of observation is, so here entirely it is a manual process. Here also in the early phase of an agile, we started more like a manual activities. We are moved into the automation. Here, the age of automation started, or we can say automation testing started. Now in the DevOps, the birth itself happened in automation here, automation testing, and it is moving towards AI testing. Did you heard this AI testing? Just recently, 3 to 4 years it started already. AI testing is started in the market, guys. It is not yet reached Amirpet yet. That's the trouble. So if it reaches Amirpet, frankly, the people who learn AI testing, they'll get very, very good packages. So this concept is not yet much popular in IT yet. So just started. Okay. So AI testing, we call it as. So that is what is going on. So in this AI testing, SAP company is leading the game. SAP. I hope you know the company called SAP. So they are leading the game of AI testing. Okay. Now come to the maintenance, guys. Come to the maintenance understanding. So in a waterfall, the meaning of maintenance is simply to deliver the product to the client. That's it. Deliver it to the client. That's it. Nothing else. This is very, very important point, guys. I keep on telling even in the last 15 minutes ago also that the meaning of maintenance is different in waterfall. The meaning of maintenance is different in agile. The meaning of maintenance is different in DevOps. So in waterfall, the meaning of maintenance is simply delivering the product to the client. That's it. You have develop your application and hand over to the client. That's it. Matter over. You develop your software and give it to the client. Matter is over. That's it. So the relationship ends by the delivery. So let's say after you given the software to the client and after 2 or 3 months it is not working, then company will not bother in waterfall model. They will not care. So coming to the agile, so by the time agile came into the market after 1996, one interesting fact happened across the world that in 1987 in UK, the concept of service has evolved. That is warranty guarantee concept. Okay. Warranty guarantee, we are just hearing now. Warranty guarantee. So that became because of popular of 1987, service industry evolved or the concept of service happened. Service, that means the relationship gets created after delivery. This is interesting. So once you develop your app and hand over to the client, the relationship starts now. So after you deliver the product to the client, you are obliged under the service agreement. So what is a service agreement, guys? What is a general service agreement we have? First of all, you guys, do you read that first? See, when you're trying to install some application, I'll tell you one simple logic. So do you guys have a habit of reading this? This one. When you try to install some applications, you read some, you'll get some rules and regulations. Now, did you read that? Do you read that? You have to read it. So in that, they will clearly mention that the service agreement is only for 1 year. You got it now, what I'm talking? So the service concept evolved here. So the once you develop your applications and give it to the client, they are obliged on the service agreement. So based on service agreement, we call that as, if you refer in our IT style, we call that as license. License, we call that as license. If you buy the license for 1 year, within 1 year, if you have any trouble with that software or application, you can approach them. They will help you. You got it now? If you buy the license for 2 years or 3 years, they are going to help you. Now, can I say that Agile has given the concept of creating a relationship after delivery? Do you agree with it? And this relationship lives based on license. You getting the point? The relationship is getting created with your customer after you deliver, and that relationship stays intact till the license. So if it is 6 months license, if it is 2 months license, if it is 1 year license, 2 years, 3 years, they are going to support you. So that is what we have. Got it now? Okay. Now let's move on what happened here in the DevOps. They followed the same what Agile was doing, but they were innovative here. In the DevOps era, that is in the current era, now they brought up a concept called lifetime support. Now this is interesting. Earlier, the support was based on license. You buy the license, they will support you. That's it. You got it now? You buy the license of the product 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 6 months or 2 months, whatever it is. You pay and buy the license. But when coming to the DevOps, there is a little change now. So the meaning of maintenance got expanded. They said that we are going to support now lifetime or lifetime support. What does it mean? So does it mean that they're bothering about your lifetime, or are they bothering about their lifetime, or are they bothering about the product lifetime? Which of the following is correct, guys? Are they bothering about your life or their life or product life? So it's a product life. Okay, as long as the product is in the market, they are going to give the support for you. That's the meaning of called lifetime support. So that is what is happening currently in the market. When you buy when you buy a software for them, they are saying now it is a lifetime support. You got the meaning now, guys? What is the maintenance now? Different age periods, different eras of different strategies or SDLCs. The meaning of maintenance is getting changed. There is an enhancement in the understanding there. Got it now? So maintenance over the years has been upgraded. So once upon a time, it was like just simply deliver it, matter is over. But Agile said, we start the matter after delivery. Something after you give the software to the client, relation gets created. We support based on license. Now in the DevOps, whether you buy the license or not, whether you take it open source or a free download, but however, support will be lifetime. So this kind of changes are happening in the market. Clear? So that's a broad comparison, guys, when you're trying to compare here. So those who want to take this table, quickly take it. We'll conclude the positives and negatives on waterfall and close it. Close this stuff. Quick case. Please take down this into your box. Please take down. Is it done? Okay. Good. Now let's move on to the just broad understanding of the waterfall summarize. So we'll end up the waterfall now. So waterfall, we'll put the positive things here. We'll put the negative things here. Now first, let's talk about the positive things. So keep in mind, waterfall is a foundation because this is the first model which has given a way for us. Foundation one, completely the foundation stuff. So which given the basis for our SDLC, right? Our journey started with SDLC of waterfall only. And this model is best for if it is a small projects. Okay. And they started the approach of serial, which seems to be good at that point of time. And this focused on quality, standards, metrics. Got it now? So that's the best thing. And waterfall is easy to implement and also easy to learn also, guys. And it is the cheapest one also. I'll write the point here, cheapest one. In the cost wise, it is the cheapest model to be implemented. So cost wise, it is cheapest, easiest, and also the learn. So a lot of things benefits are there. Now, if you talk about concern this side, got it? So what is the concern? this serial approach seems to be did not work out in 1985. So by the 1985, they said serial approach methodology itself became absolute. That means it is outdated concept. Okay. So they were looking something called new way of approach. So that is where the parallel development concept started. Handling multiple activities in a single go. So parallel development focus on handling the multiple activities of a project in a single go in a parallel fashion. So that we call it as parallel development. We follow this in Agile. We also follow this in DevOps. Then this is absolutely a flop story for big projects. Big projects, it did not work out. Okay, this is one drawback. And the phased strategy itself became a questionable, or you can say somewhat outdated by 1985. So keep in mind, this came up in 1972 and it was a dominant model till 1985. Thereafter 1985, slowly it came down, and today its market share is 4% only. Out of 100 projects across the world, out of let's take it 100%, its contribution is currently seems to be only 4%. And from this 4%, can you tell me who is a major contributor here? In which segment we are using this? Any guess? In IT, guys, I'm talking about in IT itself, the contribution now, see guys, though the waterfall became outdated by 1985, do not assume blindly that it is not there presently. So don't go by that logic. Even still today, there are some organizations or there are some projects which are using still waterfall. That is what I'm telling you. So still out of 100 people, 4% of the market in IT still using the waterfall model. Now, can you tell me where it is used? That is what I'm asking. Is it in like mobile, or is it like banking projects or finance projects or like healthcare projects or like the gaming projects? So the answer is mobile projects, guys. Android. Do you know in how many days you can finish off an Android project? How many of you are Android from the Android background? Android based projects, guys, hardly in, if you're following all the rules and regulations, also hardly within 1 month you can finish it off. 145 days, that's it. It can be finished off in very short span. Okay. If you give the freedom, okay, don't follow any rules and regulations, just finish it off. The guys can finish it off in a week also. Just if you apply the waterfall itself, they are taking 1 month. Correct? So still the major contribution of waterfall is being used in Android based projects. So that is what I mean to say. And also one more concern is they said this redo kind of activities is not working. Okay, not working. And interestingly here, guys, very important point is this model used two teams concept, right? They never had any trouble with the two team concept at all. They never had any trouble at all. And one more biggest drawback in the waterfall is resource utilization was poor. Resource utilization. What do you mean by resource utilization was poor? This was poor. The example, let's say you had development team and you had ops team, right? In a project you'll hire. Development team will eat away almost like 1.5 year or 2 years. Let's say this is a 3 years project. Imagine this is a 3 years project. 2.5 years they will eat away their time to just develop the project, and they'll hand over to the ops team, and they will eat away half a year to get your applications deployed or deliver it to that client. So when these guys are working, these guys sit idle, and when these guys are working, they sit idle till the project is closed. I hope you got the logic why this is called resource utilization is super poor in waterfall. So this problem was rectified in the agile by bringing up the concept called bench. You heard bench, guys? Very popular word in IT industry. People are keep on telling funnily that I am on bench. Do you think they are standing on bench or what? What does it mean by bench, guys? The bench concept came from agile only. So in a waterfall model, a resource or a person can sit idle for unlimited time. Unlimited. You can enjoy your unlimited time without no project, nothing. Till the project is closed, even if you don't have work, you can enjoy. But in the agile, they said if a candidate is sitting idle for consecutively more than, let's say, 6 weeks of time, right? It is a responsibility of the manager to show him some work, or company has to show him. If another 6 weeks no work, then they put it on bench. They gave them some kind of a slabs, guys. So that is required for the people who do the agile certifications. You will learn this concept when you're doing agile knowledge actually. But keep in mind, so bench is a concept evolved in the agile where they do not want the resource to sit idle for more than 6 weeks. So ideally it starts with understanding with 3 weeks only. So in a 3 weeks, if the resource is sitting idle, give him another work. Okay. In another 3 weeks also no work, push him to another project. So this is the kind of a slab system is there. Even after 9 weeks of time, if no projects are aligned, then they'll ask him to leave. Clear? So we'll talk this stuff when we deal with the agile guys. Okay, remind me. I'll tell you what is how the bench works there. Okay, that's all about the waterfall guys. There are a lot of points. You will find it online if you're just spending some time. I also want you guys to spend time investigating or doing some little Googling, find some good answers or good points and make a note in your notes. Okay, now first of all, from my side, have you understood this session? Okay, good, nice. Good guys. So those who want the syllabus copy, let me give it. Hold on a second. So this is a syllabus copy link. I want you guys to go ahead and spend some time on it. Go through the syllabus copy. I disclosed what I'm going to teach here. So please look into the syllabus copy in detail. And I'm sending this link for everybody here. Okay. Click on that link and go ahead and download the syllabus copy and keep it with you as a reference. Just go ahead and check your syllabus copy. So project is done based on the tool. So when you're learning the programming language, HP, you will have a live project. So we are not learning a programming language. So that's the reason you will not have live project. So project meaning is in the DevOps is different. Okay, project meaning in the languages is different. In languages, when you're learning, you require a live project. Okay. Dinesh, I think I shared the syllabus copy, so please go through this. So we are working on this chapter currently. So I think today we were working with what this about this part. This part I was working. So class timings is from 8:45 to 9:45. So here and there 15 minutes will expand. So you should expect the class by 10, ends at 10. Okay, 8:45 to 9:45. So as you know, when we are moving in the concept or class tempo, we need to maintain. So I want to finish off that. So here and there 15 minutes expands. Contracts and expands also. That's also possible. Okay, Dinesh is asking me, is any code needed for DevOps? The answer is no. So those are new to the class today, I strongly recommend, please go ahead and go through the first class video recording and also the second class video recording. You will understand a lot of things about the DevOps requirements, programming that is required, system requirements, any common doubts that you have will be there in that class. Any questions for me, guys? Okay, Venkata is asking me the question like this. Hi, sir, I'm having a 5 years experience PHP developer. Should I go with a DevOps or Python? Okay. So first of all, who is this? Who asked me this question? Venkat. Okay, Venkat. So Venkat, you have to tell me, are you still interested in programming? Please tell me, are you still interested in programming? See man, take your decision by heart. If yes, go Python. Nothing wrong. A lot of feature is there in Python also. Okay. So now if you are on the outer, let's say maybe you're a PHP developer. So let's say you never worked on the core part of PHP. Maybe you are in a more like a support role, right? Or production support role for PHP activities. Then I recommend you to go for DevOps. But in the core activities of PHP, already very good programming skills, not to lose, continue with Python. Got it now, Venkat? But if you're planning to learn something from DevOps, so you need to focus on Git, GitHub, Jenkins, and Maven, Docker. That's it. So Docker is very important. Docker, Jenkins, and Maven, or any build tool, Docker, and your Git and GitHub. Git and GitHub are easy, but Jenkins, CI/CD tool, and your Docker containerization tool are important. Okay, Prem is asking very good question. What if a bug is identifier of the product is delivered to the client under waterfall model? Now you need to, I am asking in reverse question. Are you asking from 1970s era or are you asking from current era? So if it is 1970s era, company will not bother at all. Matter is over. They will not bother at all. Okay. And if you are talking about current era, company takes responsibility on fixing it. Clear? They'll come up with a new version of the product and they'll try to give it to the client. The bug is finished. So HP, will you cover the Terraform? No, I don't cover the Terraform. So Terraform is covered by another trainer and he does not teach Chef. So I teach Ansible and Chef. And other trainer teaches you Ansible and Terraform. Because different tools, lot of tools are there in the market. Correct now? Fine. And who is this? Anjuna. Okay, so Anjuna. If I want to read about the DevOps basic before class, please suggest any different. See, DevOps reading online can be a good choice, but again, keep in mind that that is only up to the basics only. When you go to the tools, please stop reading from online. No, I don't encourage, because the tools keep on getting updated and the page which is written 6 months ago or 1 year ago will not help you. First of all, there's a lot of change in the subject. But for basics, it's okay. You can depend on any good site. No worries at all. For basics, even you can get from class, but any good site is fine. Okay, so those who want to talk to me, please raise your hands. We'll try to finish off in just 15-20 minutes. I want to finish off in by 10-20 guys. Anybody who wants to talk, please raise your hands. I'll call your name. Okay, Amit, please talk to me.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, hi, Amit.
Hi. Actually, I just want to talk like I just working with that as a data engineer with the PySpark High. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So DevOps like just know about that. That is the center. Like I just completed all the things. Then after that, get any certification or not?
You mean after you complete your DevOps here, you're
Yes.
talking about certification?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the institute will provide a certificate, course certificate, right? But if you're
And
planning to go with any third party certificate, then like public certificates like AWS or Azure, you can write it.
Okay, okay. And one more thing, like that is the it's the both the side now, like online and offline both the side. It's okay now.
You mean talking about class?
Yeah, talking class regarding.
This class is only online.
Yeah, this class is only online. So if we are like take this course like only on a only class one to that, no need to that any video. Okay. So can we get like any like a text file and all the things, PDF file?
Uh, so can you repeat your question? So to my understanding, what you're asking
Can
is
I
if
can
I
I get can I get any like a PDF and all the things will be you have to write in all the things
oh that
if we have
okay, yes, yes, I
such
got
type
your
like
point.
a
Yeah, you're
video with
talking about
yes
materials, right?
yes yes
Yeah,
yes
the PDF will be shared. That's what I told you. I guess in the demo class also PDF will be
yes yes
shared.
yes sir. I think you said
And
but I
yeah,
just confirming.
so you have a
Okay.
PDF already in place that I'm going to share you for all the registered users since we are in the demo. So after your registrations are done, I'll get the data of all the students who have done with the registrations. Then I'll start sharing the materials to them.
Okay, okay. And last one, this my side's the question. Like when I completed this duration, this thing after
Mhm.
60 days. So how many like how many times just shared the in my resume like DevOps like I have worked with that like last this.
3 years
So
you can
what do you
safely
think
put.
like?
3 years you can safely put.
Put yeah,
Three.
are you sure?
Yes. 3 years you can
Yeah,
safely put.
okay, that's
And three
okay.
to
That
five,
that means you said like I am very confident after this course.
yeah, you are confident. See, all
Oh,
most of the job getters are they keep 1, 2, 3 years fake. That's common. But if you're
okay.
since you're already working in IT, you should have, let's say, you if you have already some good experience, then I
Mm-hmm.
would say you can go with the 4 and 5 also.
Okay, great.
Not
Okay,
more
okay.
than five. Five beyond 5 is risky. Completely, it is a
Yes,
risky.
yes. I have
Okay.
also known to
Ideally,
that.
ideally, if you
Hmm.
do the stick to the class and practice it well, you can easily
Mm-hmm.
manage 2 and 3. Okay.
Okay,
4 and 5
great.
is by the people who already
Mm-hmm.
are working in IT and they
Okay,
can
okay,
manage it.
done.
They know how the things work,
Okay.
so they can manage it better.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, Nagireddy, talk to me. Is it Nagireddy your name? Nagireddy? No? Okay. I see hand down. So that's all, guys. I don't want you trouble on the weekend. I know. So this we are on weekend Saturday. So let's come back on Monday and we'll proceed with next class. We'll see on Monday about the agile, guys. And please go through the running notes, whatever you written, and come back on Monday. And happy, enjoy your weekend. Chalo. See you guys. Bye bye.